I don't know why not. I just wanted to have a large enough canvas to talk about the way people lived and how difficult it is to live, really. How pleasurable it is in many ways, but still, it's bloody difficult, isn't it, to keep going.
It's good to see you.
Oh, how do you do?
How was your trip?
Great. Yes, absolutely fantastic. Apart from a hurricane halfway along, that was nothing there. Yeah. We got that. We're so glad to arrive here. One of the important things that I wanted to experiment with was to have, unlike a detective story, unlike Agatha Christie, I wanted to have something that bugged Steve throughout the book that he could never resolve. And that was, after this tranquil beginning where he's playing as a small boy on the sands and the shallows of Walcot, I think it's quite later in life, he's talking to his aunt, with whom he has an affair. His aunt is represented as a very lovable woman, but shall we say, or let's just leave it at that. She's a very lovable woman, but she's a bit of a chatterbox, and she puts into his head the idea that perhaps the parents did want him to get washed away on the tide. They were not interested. And so this is a matter that goes throughout the book. Well, it surfaces here and there. It's not an obsessive thing, but it does influence him. And so really, Walcot is the key to the whole book. It's a very small key, but it's a key that throughout the book has to be unlocked. It's a psychological question. I knew that this was a question that I had to face, and I was sometimes aware I was using family material, but sometimes I was unaware of it. After all, if you're writing a novel, you've only got yourself and your surroundings as your laboratory. So there are certain things that you can't avoid. Most of the things, I think, are not from my family. I try to keep the blighters out, but you know, there are touches that sneak in despite yourself when you're writing a long novel like this. Well, it's like coming home again. And you see the whole pleasure of laboring over a book like this is that you wake up in the morning and then you think, oh yes, so-and-so and so-and-so would happen. And immediately what you want to do is, unlike the ordinary punter, you want to get up and do it. Get a cup of tea and go to the computer and tell your story. It's, people must find a writer's life externally very dull, but in fact, it's not dull at all. It's terribly exciting. You've thought of a new thing. You can't wait to get it down. And so it goes on. And all I can say is, I wrote that novel 3 times to try and get it right. And it will have to be left, unfortunately, to the judgment of others as to whether I got it right or not. But they're going to see that there are all kinds of love in the world, and some of it fails, some of it works.